Alrighty, so let's leave that right there. Good evening, everybody. Part 2. So I am coming to you live in a completely new and different way, and I'm super duper excited about that. I definitely want to let you know about some changes that I'll be making as we proceed forward into my adventure of being completely virtual. Yay! Anyway, so tonight, thanks to some wonderful business investors who enjoy my work and working with me, I've been able to upgrade to a camera that goes live. Yay! So I'm going to be working on the Zoom option and recording other videos, different styles of meditations, different yoga practices that you'll be able to join and have access to on my website. And shared through YouTube, and then I'll be broadcasting live things here on Facebook as well. And just, trying to diversify and open up the ability that I have to share more with my community and be more present for my community. And that as the Resilient Mind Method continues to grow and reach new people and help professionals on this journey of change, that we are all experiencing together, that being available and more heart-centered for all of you and less focused on technical difficulties, which I know we've all been experiencing at this time. So I'm just very touched at all of the love and generosity from all of my clients who have reached out to help me in this way. So thank you so much. And so for today's class, I'm going to be doing some Hatha yoga, some breath-styled movement yoga, and then we're going to end with a yoga nidra. And something that I've noticed that's kind of carried over and the thing that's on a lot of people's minds is what's next. And I don't think anybody has any real answers, and I think that's apparent for all. And I think the thing that it really points out is it's what's next for us as individuals. And I think exploring that concept is challenging for a lot of people. I know it's been really challenging for me. And for all of you who, look forward to going back to work or don't look forward to going back to work, I can't really say for everybody, but, going back and being different, we've spent almost 30 days with our family or friends or in our homes, recreating ourselves in some way, whether you've just taken this time to relax, whether you've learned something new, whether you've done something you haven't done before, but it's not really a race in that way. It's more of an opportunity for self-discovery. And so I've hoped that all of you, even those who might be working or, all of the blessed staff who have been present in our healthcare and our police, our fire, all of that, that they've had this opportunity to be really more present for our community, and that gives us the opportunity to bring them back into the heart of our community. And I know in some places that's never really changed, in others it has. And when we go back to whatever is next, whatever the next step is that I hope that we all learn to take this time and not only understanding ourselves and our fears and how to grow beyond our fears, but to also understand how much of our community stepped up to be there for us, for those who were not so fortunate and did become ill, or for those of us who are at home, and for those people that reached out just to say hello, or for those of you who've been able to be generous enough to help those who are in our hospitals and our ambulance and all of that sorts of nature. So taking the time to get to know your community, to be there, to be present, to be an active part of it if you can, in a safe way, but still coming back to that aspect for which a lot of our relationships had changed in the last few decades. And so we have this awesome opportunity to redefine as we are, and I know I talked about this on Saturday, but I'll bring it up one more time because I feel it needs to be mentioned, that in every massive culture, and ours is a worldwide culture, for probably one of the first times in our written history, we've been given the blessed opportunity to pause and reflect and to change. And the change can't be from the top down, the change has to be from the bottom up. And that means that all of us have the opportunity to, whatever comes next, to approach it differently, to not act out of fear or to act out of want or desire, but to act out of love for the self. Because maybe we've taken time to find out that there are things about us that we really love being, And maybe that's enjoying coffee with the person that you share your life with, or, you know, being there with your kids and helping them go through their educational process, or the enjoyment, teaching them things, learning new things, going after parts of you that you never thought you'd ever have the opportunity to do until that day. And so being that that day is now here, it's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to use it in whatever way honors us. So should you want help or guidance with that, I do make myself available at any time. You can always book a 30-minute breakthrough session if you want someone to, you know, pound this all out with, so to speak. I do have the group or one-on-one coaching program, or if you're hosting some sort of virtual conference or retreat, I always make myself present and available to all of those who might want, you know, yoga or meditation or a motivational speech, as far as helping people understand the power and strength of choice. And so in that way tonight, we will be kind of focusing on physical sensations as part of our practice in Hatha Yoga. Our breath takes us inward and helps us center and focus and become present in the moment. Our physical sensations, whether you itch or sneeze or swallow or whatever it may be, takes us away from being in the present moment. And in that way we get distracted. And it's one of the many things that the ego uses to distract you from the truth of what you are experiencing, and brings you into that unreality around us instead of the reality of who we are inside. And so in practice today, we're going to sit on that edge of physical sensation. And that doesn't mean push yourself to stretch deeper or to sweat more or tremble more or go deeper. It means to be quieter, actually. It means to be present with learning and understanding where your edge is. And the edge is that place where we no longer can bend anymore, where we would have to, use our hands or our legs to push us further. And tonight I ask you to not. Tonight I ask you to sit and experience physical sensation and its edge. And whether it's not really pain, but it's just a lack of sensation, but you can't move further, and how frustrating that means. And sitting with that and just being like, okay, I'm just going to witness this tonight. I'm not going to push further. I'm not going to go farther. That my strength physically, emotionally, and mentally is going to come from sitting on this edge and becoming so crystal clear and focused on what that edge is, that I no longer blow by it and do things that don't honor me, but that I sit with it and I honor that and I honor who I am, and I come into acceptance and love in that. So with that said, if you could take the moment to come into a comfortable seated position on your mat, wherever that might be comfortable for you. If you're like me, I like my little meditation cushion. So if you have a blanket, if you need some bolsters, if you need a strap for class tonight, these are things for people who, this is an all-level class, but if you can't touch your toes, that doesn't mean you're less of a person in any way. Or if your arms don't reach behind you, and you need a strap to help you, I always offer that you please take this moment to gather those items. Now, if you've been sequestered into your house and you don't have these items available to you, my suggestion is that you can use a blanket, a pillow from your bed. You can use a belt. I've used extension cords, the smaller extension cords for a strap. I've even used saran, where you make a nice little rope out of it. So all things that are options for people in the house. Also, if you don't have any blocks, you can use canned food products. You can use books. A nice good thick encyclopedia or dictionary always works out pretty well, especially because you can tilt them on different sides, which makes everything a lot easier. So take a moment if you need to. If you have all the items that you are going to be using for tonight's practice, again, come back into that seated meditative position as we prepare for our intention this evening. So as you continue to breathe and get comfortable, when you're ready, you may close your eyes and bring your hands into a comfortable position somewhere in your lap. So if you're sitting on the floor, you can interlace your fingers together. You can put your hands on your legs, palms facing up, whatever it means for you. And go ahead and just Straighten out your spine a little bit, rise up through the sternum, up through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders and start to breathe in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in and out through your nose, just come to witness the sensation of breathing and what that rhythm is in the current moment. Now, it might be shallow, you might have had a relaxing day. If you've been doing a lot, it might be a little bit deeper and smoother, but whatever it is, just continue to breathe in and out through the nose. And as you continue to breathe, slowly start to breathe deeper in through the nose, and at the top of the breath, hold. And as you begin to exhale the breath slowly through the nose, at the bottom of the breath, hold. Now, as you continue to do this, notice that as you slowly inhale, the nostrils become a little bit cooler, the back of the throat becomes slightly dry, and the lungs start to rise as air flows into them. And then as you begin to exhale, notice how the lungs and chest collapse ever so slightly. The shoulders might roll, the back of the throat becomes moist, and the nostrils become warm. As you continue to breathe in this manner, slowly inhaling to the top of your breath, and then slowly exhaling to the bottom of your breath, try to come into contact with these sensations. If you do not feel all of them, or maybe just one on the inhale or one on the exhale, that is fine. Just be present with what you do feel. Now, let your breath come back to its normal rhythm. And start to notice where you feel those sensations of breathing in a normal pattern. And as you continue to breathe, know that breath is always present, and it will bring you into the present moment. That you cannot breathe in the past, and you cannot breathe in the future. So in that way, no matter where you are or what you are doing, breath can always bring you into the present moment. And in our night practice of Relaxation Tuesday yoga, may we be led from what is darkness and into what is light. From that unknowing place to that place of knowledge and learning within us. From the unreality, the world around us, our external environment, to what is real, what we feel and experience inside. From a time-bound state of consciousness to a timeless state of being. That we understand this practice brings the development of faith through knowing our inner reality more. And knowing that we have the power to create and change. And when you're ready, you may slowly open your eyes and come back into the present moment as we begin for our yoga practice tonight. When you're ready, let's come to a standing position on the mat. I'm going to stand facing you. You can either stand facing me or in front of you if you want to just follow along with the verbal cues. We're going to start with our hands and feet. A little bit of a warm-up exercise. Is a 4-part warm-up breath. It is a 3-part inhalation with a 1-part forceful exhalation in coordination with an arm and body movement. So to start, we're going to come with our feet hip-width apart. For all of you who might be new, hip-width apart for anybody is when you take both of your hands and you place them just like this. You bend forward, deeply bending if you need to, and put your hands between your feet. And make sure that your feet are as parallel and straight as they can be. Now, not completely locking your knees, but as you begin to rise up, you drop your tailbone ever so slightly. You rise up through the sternum, up through the crown of the head, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. And this is an amazing posture. And this is an amazing posture for you in that your femurs are directly inside of our hips. Hip-width apart is not the outside of our hips. It's actually when the femurs are right in the center of the hips. And all of the weight of your body is balanced. So go ahead and get comfortable with that. And when you're ready, we're going to start with a little preview of the breath. We're going to do this breath about 7 times, and on the last breath, I'm going to let you know when we're going to come out. So we're going to inhale the first third, palms up, facing one another, shoulder height. Inhaling the second third, palms out to the side. Inhaling the last third, palms all the way up. And on the exhale, we're going to bend our knees, swing our arms forward, and forcefully exhale out through the mouth and come back up for the next breath sequence. Now, on the last breath, we'll slowly rise up and come into a standing meditative position. So as we begin, pressing down into the feet, rising up through the sternum, up through the crown of the head, and begin breathing in, breathing out, breathing up, out,